What if I told you that where you retire could cost you $5,000 every single year? And most people never even realize it's happening. That's not a small amount. That's a vacation. That's a new appliance. That's your peace of mind. And it's silently draining out of your retirement account right now just because of your zip code. Welcome to Frank Join Financial, the channel where we break down complex money topics into simple, real talk that actually helps you build a better financial future. If you're new here, we're so glad you found us. And if you're already part of our community, welcome back. Today we're diving into something that every retiree or anyone planning retirement absolutely needs to hear. We're talking about the 3 worst states to retire in, and why staying in the wrong place could cost you thousands of dollars every single year without you even noticing. Now, before we get into it, I want you to really picture this for a second. You've worked your whole life, 30, maybe 40 years, of alarm clocks, long commutes, tough bosses, missed vacations. You finally made it. You're ready to retire. You've got your savings, maybe a pension, maybe Social Security coming in. You sit down, do the math, and you think, yeah, this is going to work. And then slowly, quietly, month after month, the money just doesn't go as far as you thought. The grocery bill is higher, the property tax bill shows up, and it's more than you expected. Your state income tax is taking a chunk of your Social Security check, and you're sitting there thinking, wait, what happened? That's exactly what happens to millions of retirees every single year. And the worst part? Most of them never connect the dots back to the state they're living in. They blame inflation. They blame their spending habits. They never think, maybe I'm just in the wrong state. So today, we're going to fix that. We're going to walk through 3 specific states that are quietly crushing retirement budgets, explain exactly why they're so costly, and give you the information you need to make smarter decisions, whether you're retiring soon or you've already retired and you're wondering why things feel tighter than expected. Let's start with the first state on our list, and this one might genuinely surprise you. We're talking about New Jersey. Now look, New Jersey is a beautiful state. Great food, close to New York City, nice communities. But when it comes to retirement finances, New Jersey is one of the most expensive places you can possibly be. Here's the big issue. Property taxes in New Jersey are the highest in the entire country. And we're not talking a little bit higher. We're talking significantly, painfully higher. The average property tax bill in New Jersey runs somewhere around $9,000 to $11,000 per year. Let that sink in. If you own a home, which most retirees do, you could be handing over nearly $1,000 every single month just in property taxes. That's before you pay for groceries, utilities, insurance, or anything else. Now imagine you're a retired couple. You're living on Social Security and maybe a little savings. You worked your whole life, you paid off your mortgage, and you thought, great, no more housing payment. But then the property tax bill arrives, and it doesn't care that you're retired. It doesn't care that your income dropped. It just keeps coming year after year. Think of it like this. Imagine you finally paid off a car loan. You're so excited, no more monthly payment. And then the insurance company calls and says, by the way, your insurance just went up by $900 a month. That's what property taxes feel like in New Jersey. You escaped one cost, but another one is right there waiting. And it doesn't stop at property taxes. New Jersey also has a state income tax that can reach as high as 10.75%. Now they do offer some exemptions for retirement income, but the overall cost of living in the state is so high that even with those exemptions, many retirees are struggling. The median home price in many parts of New Jersey is well over $400,000, and the cost of everyday goods is well above the national average. Here's a real example. Let's say a retired couple named Bob and Linda live in a suburb of Newark. Their home is paid off, worth about $380,000. They're collecting combined Social Security of about $36,000 a year, and they draw another $15,000 from savings. That's $51,000 a year. Sounds decent, right? But their property tax alone is about $9,500. State income tax takes another chunk. Their utilities are higher than the national average. Their healthcare costs are elevated. By the time everything is paid, Bob and Linda are barely keeping their heads above water, and they feel like they're doing everything right. So what's the takeaway here? If you're living in New Jersey and you're retired or getting close to retirement, you seriously need to run the numbers. Look at what your property tax bill is now and what it will likely be in 5 or 10 years. Compare that to states with low or no property taxes for retirees. The difference can easily be $5,000 or more per year. That's real money. That's your money. Now let's move on to the second state on our list. And this one is going to really get some people talking. We're looking at California. I know. California has amazing weather, beautiful coastlines, great culture. And if you lived there your whole life, it's hard to imagine leaving. But from a pure retirement finances standpoint, California is one of the most difficult states to retire comfortably in. Here's the number one reason. California taxes your retirement income. And not just a little, California has one of the highest state income tax rates in the entire country, going up to 13.3% for higher earners. Now, most retirees aren't in that top bracket, but even middle-income retirees can find themselves paying 5, 6, 7% on their retirement income. And here's something that really stings. California does not fully exempt Social Security from state income tax the way many other states do, but it does have its own complex rules. What it does not exempt is your IRA distributions, your 401k withdrawals, your pension income. All of that gets taxed. So let's say you retire and you start pulling from your 401k. Every dollar you take out is income to California, and California wants its cut. This is money you already paid into over decades of working. Money that was supposed to be yours in retirement, but the state has other plans. And then there's the cost of living. California is famously expensive. Housing in particular is astronomical. Even if you already own your home and your property taxes are somewhat protected by Proposition 13, which limits how fast your assessed value can increase, the moment you sell that home and try to buy another one, you're back to current market prices. And in many parts of California, that means paying $600,000, $800,000, or even over $1 million for a modest home. Let me give you another real-life scenario. Meet Margaret. She's 67, recently retired, lives in the Sacramento area. She has a paid-off condo worth about $500,000. She gets Social Security, draws from her IRA, and has a small pension. Altogether, she brings in about $62,000 a year. Sounds pretty solid, right? But here's what happens to Margaret. California income tax on her IRA and pension income, roughly $3,000 a year. Her cost of living for groceries, healthcare, and basic utilities is about 15 to 20% higher than the national average. Her car insurance, one of the most expensive in the country. Her homeowner's insurance has gone up dramatically because of wildfire risk, and some insurers have actually stopped offering coverage in parts of California entirely. By the time Margaret adds it all up, she's spending thousands more per year than she would if she lived in a state like Texas, Florida, or Nevada. She's not doing anything wrong. She's just in the wrong state for her retirement budget. So if you're in California and you're approaching retirement, the big question to ask yourself is, are the lifestyle benefits worth the financial cost? For some people, absolutely yes. But for others, especially those who are budget conscious in retirement, relocating to a tax-friendlier state could save them an enormous amount of money over time. And speaking of that, stay with us, because right after our third state, we're going to talk about what you should actually do with all of this information. Because information without action doesn't pay your bills. So keep watching. All right, we're now at the third state on our list. And this one might be the most surprising of all because it actually has a lot of retiree marketing behind it. We're talking about Illinois. Illinois actively tries to attract retirees in some ways. It doesn't tax Social Security income. It doesn't tax pension income. It doesn't tax IRA or 401k withdrawals. On the surface, that sounds fantastic. And if you're just looking at income tax, Illinois seems like a dream. But here's where it gets you. And it gets you hard. Property taxes. Illinois has the second highest property taxes in the entire country, just behind New Jersey. The average effective property tax rate in Illinois is around 2.2 to 2.5%. Now, that might sound like a small percentage, but apply that to a home worth $250,000, and you're paying between $5,500 and $6,200 a year just in property taxes, every single year. And the problem is that home values in many parts of Illinois, especially the Chicago suburbs, are significant. So even a modest home in a decent area might carry a property tax bill of $7,000, $8,000, or even $10,000 annually. Now here's the trap that catches so many retirees. They hear that Illinois doesn't tax their retirement income, and they decide to stay. They think, great, I'll save money on income taxes. What they don't calculate is that the property tax is eating up those savings entirely. In fact, for many retirees, the property tax burden in Illinois far exceeds whatever they would have paid in income taxes in another state. Let's talk about Frank and Diane. They're a retired couple in the Chicago suburbs. They own a home worth about $280,000. Their property tax bill is about $8,000 per year. Now compare that to a similar couple who moved to Tennessee, where property taxes are much lower, and the state has no income tax on Social Security and very limited taxes on retirement income. The Tennessee couple might pay $3,000 or less in property taxes on a similar home. That's a difference of $5,000 every single year. Over a 20-year retirement, that's $100,000. $100,000 just in property tax savings. That's life-changing money. And beyond property taxes, Illinois has serious financial challenges as a state. The pension system is severely underfunded. There are ongoing budget issues. Many financial analysts have raised concerns about the long-term stability of Illinois' finances, which could mean higher taxes down the road. So even if things are manageable now, retirees in Illinois may face increasing financial pressure in the future. Now here's the thing. We're not saying these states are terrible places to live. They all have real strengths, great communities, good healthcare, cultural opportunities, beautiful areas. But when we're talking specifically about retirement finances, about making every dollar stretch as far as possible during a phase of life when most people are living on a fixed income, these 3 states create unnecessary financial pressure that can quietly drain your savings year after year. So what should you actually do with this? Let's talk strategy. First, if you're within 5 to 10 years of retirement, do a full cost analysis of where you currently live versus 2 or 3 alternative states. Look at property taxes, state income taxes, cost of living, and healthcare costs. You can find a lot of this information through online retirement calculators, and state tax websites are publicly available. Don't just go off of feelings or what sounds good. Run the actual numbers. Second, look seriously at the most retirement-friendly states. Places like Florida, Texas, Nevada, Tennessee, and South Dakota have no state income tax. Several of them have significantly lower property taxes and cost of living compared to the 3 states we mentioned today. You don't have to love every aspect of those states, but if moving saves you $5,000 to $10,000 a year, that's a very compelling reason to at least consider it. Third, if moving isn't an option for you, maybe family ties, health reasons, community connections, then make sure you're taking advantage of every exemption, deduction, and credit available to you in your state. Many states offer property tax relief programs specifically for seniors and retirees. These programs are often underutilized because people simply don't know they exist. Call your county assessor's office. Ask about senior exemptions. Ask about circuit breaker programs. You might be surprised what's available to you. Fourth, consider talking to a fee-only financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Someone who can look at your specific situation and help you model out different scenarios. Because your situation is unique, your income, your health, your family, your goals, and a good advisor can help you see your own numbers clearly. Here's the emotional truth that we want to leave you with. Retirement is supposed to be your reward. You earned it. Every early morning, every stressful deadline, every paycheck you were careful with. You deserve to enjoy this chapter of your life without financial stress quietly eating away at everything you worked so hard to build. And the good news is, with the right information and the right decisions, you absolutely can. $5,000 a year doesn't sound like much until you realize it's your beach trip, your grandkids' holiday gifts, your emergency fund, your peace of mind. That money matters. And you deserve to keep it. So let's recap quickly what we covered today. Number 1, New Jersey, crushing retirees with the highest property taxes in the country and a high overall cost of living that puts serious pressure on fixed incomes. Number 2, California, high state income taxes on retirement distributions, an astronomical cost of living, and rising insurance costs that quietly chip away at retirement savings year after year. Number 3, Illinois, a false sense of security from income tax exemptions that is completely overshadowed by some of the highest property taxes in the nation, plus long-term concerns about the state's financial health. Now, we want to hear from you. Are you currently living in one of these states, or have you already made the move to a more retirement-friendly state? Drop your story in the comments below. We read every single comment, and we love hearing from our community. If this video helped you or gave you something to think about, please hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a video from Frank Join Financial. Because here at Frank Join Financial, we believe that financial clarity is for everyone. Not just the wealthy, not just the experts. Just real people making smarter decisions with real money. We'll see you in the next video.